Welcome back to the Mookie Chillson channel, and you are looking live at the card that started it all. This is the 1985 Topps Dwight Gooden rookie card. This is the card that started it all for me, that started my hobby journey. And it came from the very first wax pack that I ever opened in the dining room of my old house in 1985. I had never opened a wax pack before, but I figured it out quickly, rifled through the cards, and saw this face looking back at me. Now, I was already a Mets fan. I knew Dwight Gooden was having an incredible season. I didn't know at the time it was one of the all-time seasons in Major League Baseball history. But I was hooked. At that moment, I was hooked. And it, like I said, it began the journey that I'm still on now, but it began a sort of a journey of my youth of becoming a Dwight Gooden player collector. Every Dwight Gooden card that existed was a card that I wanted. And it was a card that I had to get on my own, either from opening packs or trading with friends or going to card shows. There was no eBay, there was no online. You had to go out and get these cards and find them. And I did. I did it incessantly. I was a Dwight Gooden collector extraordinaire. You could not stop me. And so what I want to do with this episode, this is another one of those archaeological, anthropological studies in baseball card collecting that I want you to come along the journey with me starting in 1985. I want to take you through what it was like to collect a player of a would-be, could-be, should-be Hall of Famer in the junk wax era and see all the different cards and all the different varieties of Dwight Gooden cards that I collected. Now listen, this is not a journey for the faint of heart. If you are at all squeamish about seeing relatively worthless cards, now they're sentimental value to me, but I couldn't sell them for anything if I wanted. But if you are at all squeamish about that, I urge you to turn back now. It's not too late. You don't have to watch this. You don't have to keep going. But if you are still here and you do want to keep going, then let's ride. And so we'll begin the journey. And you're going to forgive me. Start by opening the binder up here to page 1 and I'm going to put Dr. K back in with his 3 friends there. So there's 3 Dwight Gooden rookies. There's the Record Breakers card that came out in that set. There's the OPG, and we all know OPG is the Canadian print version with the different colored back, different number in fact, but that was a valuable card back in the day. So that's 1985. Let's go to 1986, the year the Mets won the World Series. You got the base card, you got an all-star card, a record breaker card, you have the OPGs, of course, you have these box back cards. Now, in 86, there was, when you got a box of wax packs, on the bottom there was a panel of 4 cards, variations of cards that you would find in the packs. These were box back cards. I think Dwight Gooden came with, I want to say Carlton Fisk and Jim Rice and somebody else, but I'm not sure if that's right. But I, of course, had to have that, so I eventually got one of those. I got the Canadian version of one of those. I should mention that all these sets came with Tiffany versions. So here's a Tiffany glossy version with the brighter back. There was also, they talk about precious metal gems these days. This was my version of a precious metal gem. So this is a, hold on a second. This is a, what's it called again? This is the Champions, I forget what it was called. Hold on a second. This is the Gallery of Champions Bronze Miniature. That's the official name. But so this is a card that was minted, not printed, but it's basically the same thing as the 1986 Topps. You can see on the back, it's got all the stats and everything, and the little Talking Baseball blurb. So anyway, that's 1986. 1987, same thing. OPG. All-Star. This one, I have the cello pack, Dwight Gooden on the top. You had to rifle through a box to get that. So that was pretty cool. So here's 88, same thing. Oh, Peachy at the bottom. All-Star. This is a turn back the clock. And 5 years after this card was printed, they made a card about the card, so I had to have that card. Of course, that was a lot less expensive than the original card, so that was all I had for a while. And you got the 89, and then there's a Peachy there, Peachy. And then Shane Shoebox Legends will love this. This is the 1990, including another box bottom card, so that's 2 box bottom cards. This one, I know for a fact I cut out myself because look at the hack job. I don't know if I used like hedge trimmers to cut this or something. Look at that terrible job. This was, of course, also he at this point, 1989 and 90, used Dwight Gooden instead of Dwight. So this is a 92, I believe. This is some Bowman's. This is the insert sweepstakes card that Bowman gave away, but in the style. I love this card because it was in the painting style of an old-timey 50 Bowman or 51 Bowman. These were the glossy sendaways. If you wanted this card, you had to like save up proofs of purchase and send away all-star cards, different years. These were on the top of the rack packs. There were 3 cells in the rack packs, and every top cell had the all-star card, so I had those. This came in a set from Woolworths, so this is the Woolworths all-time record holder. I love this card because it's got his number 64, which he wore in the spring training before he made the Mets in 1984. So that's a super cool card for that reason. And you got some Stadium Clubs. This is a modern card. I just put that in there, but I love him rounding the base. Stadium Clubs, the early days. In the Donruss years, these were his Donruss rookies and his Leaf version of a Donruss rookie. More box bottoms. This was on the bottom of a 1985 Donruss wax pack box. This is sort of an iconic picture of him tossing the ball in the stands at Shea Stadium. I love that image. And some highlights, variations of the Donruss. And we get into the Fleer. 86 Fleers, an iconic looking set. That was his first Diamond Kings. Here's his 87 Donruss. What did I say? Fleer? I meant Donruss. What did I say? Did I say Donruss or Fleer? This is Donruss, of course. Diamond Kings, 87 Donruss, 88, 89, 89. There's 90. These are all in packs or card trades. There's another Diamond Kings. There's a Leaf. There's a Studio. This is a pop-up. Now we're getting into the Fleers here. So this is that's 85 Fleer. And then they started putting him in cards. Fleer goes crazy here. So Fleer put him with Juan Samuel. There he is in 86 Fleer. They put 4 of him on the card. They put him with Fernando Valenzuela. They put him with Pete Rose, Dr. K, and Charlie Hustle. There it is on the All-Star team. 87 Fleer. This is after they won the World Series. This is Dr. K and Super K. There's the whole Mets team. More box bottoms from the 87 Fleer. This is the World Series card. He stunk in the World Series, but that's okay. 88, 89. Now, you may recognize this card. This is on the, whenever Mike, baseball card collector, opens up or shows off any of his graded cards, this card is on the sort of placemat that's below where he opens and shows his cards, which always stuck out to me and was an interesting callback to my collection. Here he is, dual heat with Mark Davis. And we got Fleer, 89, 90, 91, 92, Fleer Ultra, stickers on stickers. These Fleer variations are just crazy. Fleer headliners, Fleer award winners, Fleer limited edition, Fleer Baseball's Best, Fleer Baseball's Exciting Stars. There's more Baseball's Best. There's the Flamethrower. There's League Leaders, Baseball MVP, Baseball MVP. It just goes on and on. Now we're into Score, 88, 89, 90, 91. I love that, the look of this card. There it is, K-Man. Upper Deck, got into the action there in 89, 90, 91. These were all the minis that came out. Actually, this is a sticker back. These are Topps minis. There's a Fleer Mini, 87 Fleer Mini. There's a sticker with Johnny Franco on the back, future Met. Sports Flicks, if you were a collector in the 80s, you knew what a Sports Flicks card is. Sort of flicks through the different images. On this one, you got Gooden and Boggs, and on the bottom is Mattingly and Willie McGee, I want to say. Yeah. Here he is with Mike Scott and Fernando Valenzuela. There were food issues. Quaker granola bars, that's Kahn's hot dogs, that's Post cereal, Drake's cakes. We ate a lot of Drake's to get these cards. Bazooka, here's the McDonald's, Drake's and Drake's and Drake's. And then there were the box store versions. There's Kmart, 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 KB. Stickers, this was a 1985 All-Star Game insert. Don't ask me why. This, I don't remember what that is. This is like a press-on sticker kind of thing. Collect the book. It's a little booklet. This, you could order discs with classic cards. These were from magazines, baseball card magazines that did these bootleg Topps designs, which were crazy, but I cut them out and collected them. The starting lineup, you had to have that. With the figure, you also got the baseball card, and so I had those. And then at like baseball card shows, just dealers would have these just random like printings. Here he is, for some reason, like he's 75 feet tall, standing in the middle of Wrigley Field. I have no idea what's going on there, but I had to have that card. And then just more sort of random, like unlicensed, definite, like crazy prints. If these are worth a penny, I would be shocked. More and more and more. Here's another one. This is the Big Apple Card Company made this oversized version of a card. And so, again, none of these are really worth anything. And I mentioned in another video, these two cards, these were the rookie cards that I saved and saved and saved for the 84 Topps Traded, the 84 Fleer Update. That was paper route money. I delivered so many papers to buy these cards, and then I ended up preserving them in an awful holder that ended up spoiling them. But again, the good news is on the hobby journey, the journey is never really at a destination. Let me post those there, because now I'm a grown-up and I can rectify situations like that and get cards that are nice and beautiful and even graded and re-up my collection. So that's the journey. Again, there was no eBay, there's no internet, there's no way to collect these, there's no shortcuts for any of this. I had to either buy them in packs, go collect them at, trade them with friends, or go to card shows, which I did. I would go to card shows and find Dwight Gooden cards. That was my objective. And I think you saw the fruits of that labor. It may not be a financial windfall at the end of the day, 40 years later looking on. I spent a lot of money on not a lot, but I do have a lot of sentimental value, and I will always remember those days very fondly. And I love my Dwight Gooden player collection, and I hope you did too. If you didn't turn back and weren't squeamish, thank you for joining me, and hopefully I have more content in the future that doesn't put you to sleep. All right, thank you.